We'd been planning this for years. The Cuca. She was a speakeasy in the 20s and 30s, a floating den of iniquity, a derelict barge of debauchery, a frat house on waves. Oh, there'd been a murder aboard, and she sank under mysterious circumstances. What would we find? Gold? Treasure? Ghosts? We didn't know. All we knew was that we had to find her. But for 90 years, her whereabouts were known only to God and a little guy at the East Jordan dive shop. As Providence would have it, Dan found our wreck. And for the 50th time, we rehearsed. I would go down, Cam would go down, Dan would go down, Mark would go down.
Okay, boys, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'm going first. Cam second. We're going to go right down the line.
So we started, just as we'd planned. I went down first. Before long, the magnificent old girl came into sight. I looked up to make sure the plan was being followed. Right on time, down came Cameron. Immediately after, down came Dan. What could possibly go wrong now? We waited patiently, but couldn't find Mark. Then, out of the mist, here comes Mark. There goes Mark. Dan looks around, finds his buddy, starts to swim toward him, then looks back as if to ask, should I really save him? He immediately knew what to do. He went and saved his buddy. Pulling Mark back toward the valiant vessel was a struggle, but he was able to make it. Our crisis passed. We joined back again. As I rapped on my tank to give everybody the rally point. And off we set on our adventure aboard the Cuca. The haze you see is the thermal climb. It was something to really fear. But at about deck height, it was just fine. Now fully oriented, Mark and Dan joined the crowd. You can almost feel the ghosts still dancing upon the deck. Eerily, we looked into the hold. We'll save this for another time. Wreckage still strewn across the deck from the calamitous end. Cam struggled to right himself. Dan and Mark hanging just above the thermal climb. As we progressed on our dive, we could sense other eyes upon us. We weren't quite sure what they could be. Again, could it be the spirit of the murder victim? We didn't know, but all around us. And there it was. Out of the green came a smallmouth bass. Not just any bass, the kind of bass you don't want to tangle with. We chased him away. The menacing sound of propellers overhead could be heard throughout the course of our dive. We feared for the women still up on top of the water, hoping, And then again, out of the blue comes the bass. We worked our way to the stern and immediately discovered, well, there's your problem. The deeper you went, the colder it got. That feeling of just eating sherbet naked in the Arctic. Bone chilling. The kind of cold, well, that leaves you sucking your thumb under the covers at night. The overhead whine of propellers adding an ominous note to our dive. But Cameron signaling he's unafraid. Then again, this sense of being watched, being followed. What could it be? He was back. Mark signals that it's time to go into the hold. Could this be where the treasure is? Where the gold is? We didn't know, but we knew we were going to find out. I went first, because I have the most life insurance. We knew as soon as we entered, it was time to leave. Only to have Cameron go down, actually looking for the last casks of beer. College kids. But we were okay. And he reappeared again. It was over this strange pot with the holes inside. Was it part of the boiler system? Was it a cooking pot? We didn't know. But those fish seemed to be pretty interested in it. Dan tried a new kick, but all it did was stir him silt. It was the spotted bass, back once again. An evil little fellow who just couldn't leave us alone. Decided to investigate the bow. Last seen 90 years ago, plying its way through the debaucherous waters of Lake Charlevoix. Oh, it was cold. Colder than penguins' feet. Look out! It's back. Dive coming to an end. We took a safety stop. We looked around to make sure everybody was safe and good to go. Mark flashed a sign that nobody could possibly understand and counted to 4. A-OK here. A-OK here. Time to ascend.
One up, 2 up, 3 up. Hey, we all made it.
They weren't quite as excited as we'd anticipated, but they didn't know about the smallmouth bass.
There's walleye down there.
Yeah, huge walleye.
I almost touched that one. I touched a, there's a smallmouth bass in front of me I touched.
It was cool. You guys went, where did the hole go? You two went through it? And I tried to go. I tried to follow you. It was nothing. I'm like, I'm not going in there because I don't know where I'm going.
Wait, why didn't you come in?
You'd stirred up everything.
Oh.
I had like 6 inches of visibility.
Yeah, I was.
Dan, I didn't want Dan.
Yeah, and I was getting cold
because he was about to follow me, and I'm like, don't go.
Yeah, it is hypothermic in the hole.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, right at deck level is when you.
After celebrating a great dive aboard the Kuka, we couldn't help but have a little fun on the tube.
Yeah, here we go. Nice. Oh! Nice, Mark. Oh! Oh, goodbye, Cameron, on this. Holy cow!
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Time out.
Now gun it. Got it. All right, he's standing now.